Okay, here's the video. I don't know if I'll upload. And give me a minute. You can still hear the voices back there. I'm a little choked up right now. Right back there where those lights are. Kind of wish I'd started this video 10 seconds earlier so I could hear their voices a little more. Okay. I don't know, I have no idea where this video is going. Except, and it's terrible to start a video out like that because that kind of presages something important, and I don't know that I can deliver anything important, and not that I can never deliver anything important in any of my videos, and I'm way drunk, and probably shouldn't be even attempting it, but the emotion is here, and emotion is so often the muse and catalyst of truth. Well, truth isn't the right word. No, at least whatever is moving under the surface, which we sometimes think is truth, which sometimes is revealed as truth. So I'll try to do it, but first I'm going to fart. There we go, and I got that out of the way. Anyway, I promised several weeks ago a video about my failure in Japan, and I don't know that I can muster that into this, but I can try. I've always taken my work seriously, and I've always attempted to deliver a value above and beyond the compensation that I receive, such that if my employer is benefiting me X dollars or yen per hour of work, I'm delivering X plus some quotient, some quantity beyond, so that, and I think that this in part is innate to my nature, probably through my upbringing, but is also trained from my years of experience, especially the waning years of the .com experience, when I was annually asked to give to my employer a reckoning of my value to the company. And if I wasn't able to demonstrate, basically an annual interview for my job, if I wasn't able to demonstrate that I yielded value, then I would be terminated. So in combination, that factual aspect and the character that I was raised with have created that type of person in me. Here in Japan, I've been unable to deliver, and the damn camera stopped. I'm not blaming the Japanese in any way, and I'm not going to try to come back and blame them after I said that. I'm not. It's a simple fact that I am a person in the wrong place. That I can't. I can certainly deliver. I am seriously going to regret doing that later. I am really drunk, guys. I'm really drunk and quite flatulent. I really shouldn't be doing that. Well, if you don't know, I'm just leaving a goodbye party. I'm just leaving a goodbye party by my employee, my co-workers at the school where I work. And the food that they had was quite gaseous. And the beer that they had was quite potent. So get to the point. The point is, I'm a person who takes pride in his work, and I'm also a person who has found myself unable to deliver in Japan. For two reasons. And I won't elaborate too much because, well, I don't know I'm prepared to say why. But for two reasons. One, because of my inability with the language, so that I can't function as a part of the organization, and two, my inability to adapt to the Japanese way of doing things. I've got a video out there on the LylesBrother channel called Why I Can't Succeed in Japan, which explains all that, so I won't bother to say it again. But not the bother. I won't trouble you guys to have to listen to it again. So I knew this night was coming. I've given my notice more than a month ago. And I used to be, and I was regretting this night, I used to be an insider. I used to be a conspiratorial cohort. How did I muster those two words together? Let's just say. What I mean by that, and that is the good description, conspiratorial cohort. I was a part of the gang. Here with my situation. Situation is the right word too. A very archaic word used to describe a circumstance, but in the past used to describe a position of employment. I was once part of the group, but I fell out of that about 2 years ago. I actually remember the very night. It wasn't 2 years ago, it was 5 years ago. I started my job. It's not a fart, I better be careful. I started my job 5 years ago. And I started in February and was called to the new year, the new start of the new school year party in April. That's definitely not a fart. In April. And so I had 2 months as a full-time employee, as a full-time employee, to realize that I wasn't going to fit. And actually in my new employee speech, I may have said so as much as I could in Japanese, indicating that I was very happy to be here. It was very telling that I would even say that. Very telling that I wasn't going to fit in, because I was trying to be honest and upfront and saying I'm struggling. I can't find my way here. I don't know how to operate in this Japanese environment. And that only became more so as the years progressed. Whereas I was once the guy that was invited to all the parties and could stay late with everybody, I was the guy that, not shunned by others or not excluded by others, but self-excluding, decided I wasn't going to come. I wasn't going to be a part because I couldn't fit in. And it wasn't a matter of rejecting them as much as a recognition that I couldn't fulfill my role and I didn't want to participate and be a part of and enjoy the benefits, the society and fraternity of my fellows when I couldn't deliver what I thought was my job. Now, under most circumstances, I would have sought a different employment and gotten myself out of that situation. But being in Japan, where the options are limited, with a family to support and daughter in school and going on to a private school, I stuck with it, hoping that I could find a way around it, and I never did. In no way, at any moment in this video, am I accusing my employer or my friends or the fellow teachers of anything. It's all me. It's all me. I couldn't adapt. I couldn't become a part of the gang. I couldn't adjust. Hold on. I triple dare you to upload this video. You know, this is a video that I probably couldn't make unless I was seriously drunk. It's funny because I don't drink much anymore. Maybe that's the reason. I drink only on weekends, parties, and social events, holidays. Tonight was both a holiday and a party. My farewell party, so I drank a lot. Beer was copious and free. So now it makes my speech copious and free. Unfortunately, I think I gave away too many secrets at the party, too. Gosh. The frailties of being human. There's a woman there. I don't want to scare her. Let's wait for sure to walk past. So, where was I? off. Thank gosh I found that porta potty. Building a house back there, and there's a porta potty, so I could. Because that last thing was definitely not a fart. Gosh. Quadruple dare myself to upload this video. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jaywalk across the street. 50-year-old man should not be doing stuff like this. 50-year-old man should be a better example. Man my age should be more selfless and devoted to others. It's my So, back to the thing. So, it's a troubling thing because I care about my work. I don't take it lightly. And like I said, I try to give value for every hour I'm paid, not turning flashing green. But I'm unable to do so in Japan. Like I said, forgive me if I'm repeating myself. There were two reasons why. The first reason being that I can't communicate well. The second reason being I can't communicate well. It's sort of the same thing. But the second one is illustrated by the subtlety of the cultural differences, the way things are communicated during Japan. There's somebody there's so many young women walking around, and I don't want to scare them. Did I ever tell you guys a story about how I scared the crap out of that one woman in the park? She's right up there behind me. I'll save that for another video. Made her scream. I never intended. Breaks my heart. I'm catching breath now. Imagining that I could make a woman scream in terror. It's silly. But I did, totally unintentionally. And it kind of dovetails nicely with what's going on here. It was my failure with Japanese. I'll just tell it quickly. I was walking early in the morning in the park behind me. In the summertime. I came upon in a dark, what's the word, copse of trees. I'm not jaywalking them. I came upon a giant golden orb weaver spider that had weaved its web across the trail. And I realized that in the dark and night, early morning stuff, that someone was going to get a face full of spider web. There's a giant spider in the middle if I didn't move that web or destroy it. That's what I had to do. So I was standing there trying to think about what to do with the web. I was looking for a stick. I knew I had to destroy the web. When I heard footsteps behind me, and it was a young woman who was walking on the same trail, and it was kind of like this. It's dark, trees all around in the middle of a park. Gosh, it stuns me sometimes the way that young, or even any age women in Japan put themselves into these situations sometimes. Anyway, she came walking up behind me, and I turned around, and in my terrible Japanese, I tried to tell her not to go forward, because this giant spider web right in the middle of the trail, and she squatted down and started screaming and saying, pleading with me in Japanese to not hurt her. And it wasn't my intention to hurt her. I was just trying to keep her from getting a face full of spider. And so in my terrible Japanese, I told her, this is where it gets funny. I told her, no, yada, yada, yada. Boku janai. Okina kumo. Irimasu. I told her there was I got the words kumo and kuma mixed up. Whereas I can't remember which one's which, but one is spider and one is bear. So we're in the middle of this urban forest. And I told her there was a giant bear. She couldn't go forward because there was a giant bear. She was crouched down, covering her head, and she was crouched down like this. She yada, yada, yada. And she goes, eh? She looked up at this foreigner saying there's a giant bear. Eh? She's looking for the bear. And then she looks over, and I'm pointing at this big spider in the middle of this web. And she realizes the dumb shit that there's a giant spider. And she totally got it. And she, as probably any woman would, she didn't quite recover in the circumstance. And I'm not downing women, but I'm just saying, if I was a woman in that situation and some big foreign guy meeting in the park and suddenly realizing the weirdness of it all. She kind of recovered her senses, and I kind of escorted her around the web as I then grabbed a stick and dispatched with the web. So likewise now with my situation in Japan, I couldn't function here, So to the person who asked me to explain myself about my failure here, this is just one aspect of it. I can't function here. They need something of me that I can't deliver, despite my best endeavors and best intentions. Couldn't do it. It can't be a good Japanese employee. It can't be a good Japanese teacher. The paradigm is different. The model is different. The mode. Some have succeeded. There's lots of people out there on YouTube, foreigners here, that have succeeded, and I'm not one of them. So, after that first 2 months, I knew it then. I even said it out loud then. I knew I was screwed. But I stuck with it. And I failed. I did my best. I delivered well with what I thought I could do. I created a good curriculum. Grades 2 through 8, plus kindergarten. Never got to grade 1. I did deliver a good curriculum and handing it off to the new guy, but I failed otherwise. So tonight at the party, I didn't expect my farewell party. I didn't expect too many people to show up because I knew that I had not engendered their support. I knew that. Gosh, I sound like a sad sack. I'm not looking for pity. I'm not looking for... usually I don't ask people about comments. Please just leave me alone in the comments. I'm not looking for any support. I'm recording this for the sake of recording it, for the sake of my daughter to look at, for anyone that's interested to look at, just to get it out there. That, sometimes you can have the best intentions and just not be able to succeed. And that may be in part because of innate failings, in my case, not learning the language, or just mismatch of intentions, or just bad timing, or whatever. So I failed here. And I was kind of hoping that nobody would show up at this party, except a few obligatory people. Turned out far more showed up than I thought would, although definitely the core that were my friends when I first came here, when I first started working here, were not there. And I know that, without question, that if not completely, was largely due to my failure to be a part of them. And it does hurt. It doesn't hurt like they did something to me. It hurts like I did something to them. And I feel bad for that. And again, I'm not looking for any comfort. God knows. I hate using that word. Gosh knows. Yeah. I don't want comfort. It's the last thing I want. I don't want anyone to comfort me. I want to be left alone in my feelings. To stew in them, not in a bad way, but to stew in them in such a way that I can absorb their essence and have them as my own. I don't want to be comforted. And my pains are trivial and selfish and hardly worth a thought. But there you go. To the one person who was curious about my failure here in Japan, that's one of them. I failed to be a good teacher. Well, no, I was a good teacher. In class, I delivered. I always delivered in class, but I failed to be a good teacher in the administrative sense, in group sense. So, and it showed tonight. But there were a lot of women there, which is a good and appreciative thing by a middle-aged man like me. Lots of women, but typically women are the more giving in terms of, despite what they might feel. There's no question about it. I don't think I'll be missed much. So I go on now and go back to the States. Now, things will probably be different there. And I'm not saying that in trying to comfort myself. I'm saying that in a realistic vein. The States is a place, the United States is a place that I understand. I know the game. I was raised in the game. I played the game, and I've succeeded in the game. And I'll do my best to succeed there, like I said. I tried to deliver more value to my employer, far more value to my employer than what I receive in compensation. It's always been my goal. And I'm geared up for that again. It's just here I couldn't do it. So that's all I wanted to say. And they left me a bunch of gifts. They gave me this big bag of gifts. And I love them for it. And I love that they would be nice to me all the way to the end. And so now I say farewell to this chapter. Another 2 weeks. My shoes sure are lazy. Another 2 weeks and I'm done with work. Good luck to the next guys that are coming. I'm a little sad. Sad to say goodbye. Sad that I let him down. And a little bit ashamed by the kindness that they showed me in spite of it all. I kind of wish that they would just let me go without a party. But being Japanese, being the kind, caring people that they are, selfless people that they are, nevertheless, that's what I got. I do appreciate it. And now I'm home. And I'm sorry for a very, very long, flatulent, toilet-induced in the middle of the night, drunken ramble. Kind of hard to believe I can't even walk straight. I shouldn't be allowed. I shouldn't allow myself to make videos under these circumstances. But I will. I'll go now inside the door, say hi to my family, be grateful for the lessons learned, the trials, the chances, and then always, always remembering that there are people who are suffering so much more. And I have to keep them on my mind. That perspective. Remain optimistic and endeavor to be better for the sake of one and all. Not that I've got so much responsibility, but that it's the responsibility that I want to have. Good night. Thanks for watching.